me about it.
Well, today we're going deep on Nigella Lawson's Cook, Eat, Repeat. And
This is gonna be good.
yeah, but it's not like just flipping through looking for tonight's dinner.
Right.
It's more like,
I've heard it's different.
yeah, like reading about food so vividly, it's almost like you've already had like a 5-star meal.
Just through her words.
Just through words.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see that.
Like, and that's what this reviewer was picking up on too. She's not just a celebrity chef. She really, like, plays with the language, you know? Like, she's a writer.
Right.
As much as she is a chef.
Yeah, and I think that comes through in the book, definitely. It's like, it's more about savoring the experience, right?
Right.
So both when you're reading it and then when you're actually cooking, it's not just about, getting dinner on the table.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And the reviewer really gushed about that, about her use of language. Like, I was reading this one part where she describes pomegranate seeds, get this, as ruby gems.
Oh, wow. Fancy.
It is fancy, right? I'm suddenly not just throwing together a salad.
Right.
I'm like an artist.
Yeah, you're elevating it, right?
Right.
You're making it special.
Yeah. So do you think, I mean, really, does that kind of language actually change how we, like, experience the food?
I think it has an impact, for sure. Like, think about it. If you're sprinkling ruby gems on your salad,
yeah,
I think you're going to be more present, more mindful of what you're doing, right? You're not just like, tossing stuff in a bowl.
Right.
And so I think that's kind of what Lawson does really well. She elevates those everyday ingredients and she makes you really appreciate, like, what you're cooking.
But, and this is maybe just me, but I get a little, like, skeptical sometimes with overly descriptive food writing. Like, what if the food's not that good?
Right. Sets you up for disappointment.
It does. Like, what if it doesn't live up to the hype?
Yeah, and I think that's where Lawson is so good as a writer. She manages to create anticipation without overpromising, and she finds that balance.
Okay.
And for example, the reviewer mentioned that they really enjoyed reading about, like, anchovies.
Anchovies.
Yeah.
Like rhubarb even. Like unpretty brown foods.
I see.
So it's not about presenting everything as, like, picture perfect,
Yeah.
It's about kind of finding that beauty in those unexpected things.
Okay, that's interesting. So it's not necessarily about, like, fancy ingredients or these, like, super complex techniques. It's more about, like, finding appreciation for those, I don't know, maybe the humble, overlooked.
Right, the simple things. The simple things.
Ah.
And so do you think she also kind of does that in the recipes themselves? Like, the way she makes, like, what could be gourmet cooking seem approachable.
Totally. And she does it in practical ways, too. So, like, the reviewer mentions that the recipes are generally pretty straightforward, like, no mile-long ingredient lists that are just intimidating,
Right, yeah.
And so she gives an example. There's a beaten chickpea dip recipe that's only, like, a handful of ingredients. Really simple technique.
So easy enough for, like, anyone.
Yeah, even if you're a beginner.
But doesn't that risk, like, oversimplifying? Like, what if you are really, like, a novice cook? Would even her easy recipes feel challenging?
I think it comes down to how clear her instructions are.
Okay.
And she really focuses on building confidence, So she breaks things down in a way that makes them feel manageable, even for beginners. And then also, she really emphasizes adaptability, Like, the reviewer actually admits to using pre-cooked beets for the dip.
Oh, cheater?
I know. Even though Lawson, like, recommends using fresh ones, but that's the point, right?
Yeah. So, like, even if you take shortcuts.
Yeah, you're not going to ruin it,
You're not going to ruin it.
It's about finding what works for you in your kitchen.
Okay, that's a good point.
But the main thing is the reviewer still loved the final result,
Yeah.
Like, they talked about the vibrant color and the, like, nuanced flavors.
Okay.
So it proves that even with some adaptations, her recipes still, they deliver on that promise of deliciousness.
It works. Okay. I have to admit, you're making me want to try that dip.
Yeah, it sounds really good, right?
Yeah. But let's move on a little. I was actually fascinated by how the book's structured. Like, it's not like your typical,
categories.
Yeah. Like appetizers, main courses. It's not like that.
More free-flowing.
It is, yeah, it's organized by, like, her personal passions, her reflections, like chapter titles like A is for anchovy.
Okay.
Much depends on dinner. What do you think that's about?
I think that speaks to how this book is really as much about her personal journey with food as it is about the actual recipes. You know, it's like she's inviting you to kind of explore her world, you know, her thought process, her inspirations, all of that.
It's like we're getting a glimpse into her culinary diary, not just
exactly.
like the list of ingredients.
Exactly. And it makes you feel like you're kind of, you know, in the kitchen with her.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And she's not afraid to like really delve into those, I don't know, quirky, unexpected things like anchovies.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder there's always something new to discover, you know?
Right. Like, don't be afraid to experiment. Step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, and there's a real sense of playfulness too. Like, think about that title. Much depends on dinner. It's a little like tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
A little dramatic.
Yeah.
But it also kind of hints at like a deeper meaning behind cooking and sharing a meal.
It's not just about like, you know, fueling your body. It's about connection and tradition and just enjoying that experience together.
Okay, that's such a good point. It's like she's making us think about the why behind the what we cook. But I mean, let's be honest. For a lot of people, dinner really is just about getting food on the table, right?
Absolutely. Especially these days.
Yeah. I mean, you're busy, you're tired. You just want to eat.
But even for those people, I think there's something to be learned from Lawson's approach. Like, the reviewer mentioned this detail I thought was interesting. There's a section in the back of the book that's specifically about how to store leftovers for each recipe.
Oh, that's actually...
Isn't that smart?
That's really smart.
Yeah.
It's like, she gets it.
She gets it.
She understands the reality...
of life.
Of life, of busy people.
Yes.
And she's giving us the tools to make it work, you know?
Yeah, and that's what makes her so relatable, I think. She's not just about the aspirational, she's about the attainable.
It's practical, too. Okay, so we've talked about her writing, the way she makes gourmets seem approachable, the structure of the book. But what about the actual dishes themselves?
Well, you know, the reviewer talked about how there's a really good variety and balance to the recipes.
Okay, like what?
So, you know, there are like hearty soups for those cold nights.
Yeah.
Simple breads that you can whip up pretty easily, like salads with fresh flavors, dips, and even some, you know, decadent desserts.
Oh, okay. So something for everyone. It sounds like a real culinary adventure.
Yeah, and I think that's the point. There's something for everyone, no matter what your skill level is or what your preferences are.
But one thing I was curious about is the reviewer mentioned there's not a lot of pictures.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like a lot of cookbooks these days, it's like their photo albums first.
Yeah, they rely so heavily on the visuals.
Right. So that feels like a bold choice. What do you think?
I think it's deliberate. Like, she's encouraging us to use all of our senses, not just our sight, you know?
I see.
Instead of being bombarded with, like, perfectly styled photos.
Right.
We're kind of invited to imagine it ourselves.
Based on her words.
Yeah, based on her descriptions. It's like she's letting our imaginations run wild in the kitchen.
It's like she's saying, trust me, the food's going to be beautiful.
Right.
But let's focus on the flavors, the aromas, the experience.
Exactly. Like, shift your priorities a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so interesting. And that kind of ties back to the mindfulness thing, right?
Exactly.
Like being present in the moment.
It's all connected. It's about slowing down, savoring every step, and really connecting with the food you're making.
This is making me rethink my whole approach to cookbooks.
I know, right? There's a whole different way of thinking about it.
Okay, before we totally lose ourselves here, let's maybe look at a couple of the specific recipes.
Sure, we can dig into some of those.
Yeah, that caught the reviewer's eye.
Sounds good. Well, there was this one the reviewer kept coming back to, Venetian chicken and saffron.
Okay, yeah.
And apparently Lawson tells this really great story about it, like how the saffron reminds her of Venice and how it just adds this touch of luxury to like a simple dish, you know?
See, that's what I love. Is that she just transports you with her descriptions.
Yeah.
It's not just a chicken recipe.
Right.
It's like a mini vacation to Italy.
Yeah.
Did the reviewer actually like try making it?
Oh, yeah, they did. And they loved it. They were totally smitten just like with the story. And they raved about how the saffron like infuses the chicken with this subtle but like distinct flavor and aroma, and how the white wine and onions make this like rich, savory sauce.
Man, you're killing me. Now I got to try this. Okay, but like for someone who's maybe a little intimidated by saffron, would this be like too much for them?
I think this is where Lawson's whole like approachable gourmet thing really works. Like, saffron might sound fancy, but she really like breaks it down, makes it simple, you know?
Yeah.
And she's clear about how a little goes a long way.
I see.
And the recipe itself is not that complicated. It's basic techniques, easy to find ingredients.
Okay, so it's about like building confidence,
Exactly.
encouraging people to experiment without
overwhelming them.
Overwhelming them. Okay, I like that. And speaking of like visual appeal, the reviewer also mentioned the roasted red pepper and tomato soup.
Oh, yeah.
And they were really drawn in by how she described the color.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like a sunset in a bowl.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's beautiful.
And it made me think about what we were talking about earlier with the pictures, or lack of pictures.
Yeah.
It's like, by using such vivid language, she lets us create the picture in our minds.
You got it. It's about engaging all of your senses.
Yeah, not just relying on a photograph.
Right.
So instead of just seeing like a perfectly styled photo,
right,
we get to use our imagination, like create our own masterpiece.
Exactly. And it makes it more personal too, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not just the visual either, right?
No, she talks about the aroma too.
Yeah.
Like how the roasted pepper smells sweet and mixed with those tangy tomatoes. It's like you can almost smell it, right?
It's a whole experience before you even start cooking.
Yeah.
Which I imagine makes the actual cooking even more enjoyable.
I think so, definitely. Like you're already so invested in it.
Yeah, you're already there. Every step's more meaningful.
And that's what Lawson's all about. It's like turning cooking from a chore into like a ritual. It's a celebration.
A celebration of flavor.
Exactly. She wants us to slow down, enjoy every moment, and really connect with the food we're making.
Don't just cook, experience it.
I love that. And she takes that same approach to eating too, you know?
Okay.
The reviewer mentioned how she like encourages you to savor each bite, to notice the texture, the different flavors, you know, like really appreciate it.
It's so easy to just rush through meals.
Oh, tell me about it.
Especially these days. Everyone's so busy.
Yeah, you're just shoveling it in.
But she's reminding us that food it's more than just fuel.
Right.
It's about, like, pleasure.
Pleasure, mindfulness, even self-care in a way.
Oh, speaking of self-care, there was that recipe that caught my eye, the salted chocolate tart.
Oh, yeah.
The reviewer called it the ultimate indulgence.
I mean, who doesn't love chocolate?
Right. And she even suggests, like, pairing it with a dessert wine.
Oh, fancy.
To really make it an experience.
I love that. It's all about those little luxuries, like whether it's the saffron, the beautiful roasted vegetables, or a slice of, like, decadent chocolate tart.
It's about giving yourself permission to, like, enjoy those simple pleasures.
Exactly. You don't have to deny yourself those things, you know?
Yeah. And it sounds like she does a good job of balancing those indulgences.
Right.
With more everyday meals, too.
Yeah, the reviewer mentioned there's plenty of lighter recipes.
Okay.
Like salads, soups, grain dishes.
So it's not all about, like, rich, decadent.
No, it's about balance.
Yeah.
It's not about one specific way of eating. It's about finding what works for you.
Yeah.
And enjoying the process, both the cooking and the eating, in a way that feels good.
Okay, so nourishing and satisfying.
Exactly. That's the key.
This has been such a fascinating look at this book.
I know. It's really making me think.
I'm feeling really inspired, like to not just cook, but to really experience food in a whole new way.
I'm so glad to hear that. It's clear that Lawson's passion for food is contagious.
It is.
And her book just offers a really unique perspective on the joy of cooking and eating.
It really does. Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into cook, eat, repeat, what are the, like, big takeaways here? You know, for our listeners, what should they be thinking about?
I think the main thing is this book is not just about the recipes, you know? It's more like an invitation to really experience food with all of your senses, not just, like, taste, you know?
So, like, appreciating those everyday things and finding the joy in the whole process.
Exactly. And she does it in such a cool way with her writing, her approach to the recipes.
Yeah.
And like we said, the mindfulness, the slowing down. Like, she really wants us to connect with food on, like, a deeper level.
And figure out why we're cooking, what we're cooking, right?
Exactly.
And she's not afraid to get kind of quirky with it.
Right.
Like, remember that Venetian chicken with saffron?
Oh, yeah.
Who knew chicken could be so
I know.
evocative?
And romantic.
Right.
Yeah, it's like she can make anything sound amazing.
She can. And it's a good reminder that even simple ingredients can be, you know, really special.
Right, like those pomegranate ruby gems.
Oh, don't remind me. I got to go get some pomegranates.
I know, right? It makes you see things differently.
It totally does. It's all about perspective.
Exactly. And she shows us how to find that wonder
Yeah.
in our own kitchens.
Yeah, in our everyday cooking. So I guess she's giving us the tools.
Yeah, she's giving us the
The
tools
inspiration.
and permission, I think, to really enjoy it.
To enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to say, I'm looking at cookbooks completely differently
Me
now.
too, yeah.
Like, it's not just about finding a recipe anymore.
Right.
It's about finding a voice that you connect with.
Yeah, that speaks to you.
Yeah, a whole philosophy.
Yeah, about food.
Yeah, about food, about cooking. And I think cook, eat, repeat really does that.
Definitely. It's so warm and inviting.
Yeah.
It makes you want to get in the kitchen and just start cooking.
So as we say goodbye to Nigella,
For now.
for now, yeah, I'm left with a question for you, dear listener. Think about the language you use when you talk about food. What if you, like, sprinkled in a little of Lawson's magic? Would it change things? What if your scrambled eggs were suddenly clouds of sunshine?
Ooh, I like that.
Right. Or that simple pasta dish, what if it became a symphony of flavors?
I don't know, just a thought. Maybe you could change everything.